Part 2 of the top whiskies I sampled in 2024. Number 5 comes from Heartwood. Now this isn't a distillery, this is an independent bottler that purchases whiskey from other distilleries and ages them in notably unique and innovative ways. So the whiskey was Enigma from their Art of Darkness series. The spirit came from Adams Distillery in Tasmania and was aged in first fill sherry casks and second fill re-seasoned sherry casks. Number 4 was the Muscat cask Batch 1 from Westernport Distillery, the new distillery that just opened up last year in Victoria, and they sent me samples of some of their first batches for me to try, and I was quite blown away with all of the whiskies from their distillery, especially being the first releases. But the one that really knocked my socks off was their Muscat cask. It was aged a few years in ex-bourbon casks before being finished in an antique 50-year-old Muscat cask bottled at 52%. This was full of aromas and flavors like toffee, golden syrup, nutmeg and coffee, with this incredible creamy sweetness. Batch 1 is completely sold out, but they've only recently released Batch 2. Number 3 was, and I'm going to have to read this, the Scotch Malt Whisky Society's 93.204 by the beautiful Briney Sea. An SMWS release almost always ends up in my top 5 of the year. By the Beautiful Briney Sea was the club's Australian exclusive release of an 8-year-old Glen, Scotia whiskey from Campbelltown in Scotland. And surprisingly, the only Scottish whiskey in my top 10 this year. Bottled at a massive 61.3% and boasts some really big, oily, salty, meaty, smoky flavors. Number 2 was the Serendipity Peated Batch 1 from Cape Byron Distillery. Cape Byron Distillery is situated in a tropical rainforest down in Byron Bay in New South Wales, Australia. It was co-founded with our Eddie Brooke and Scotland's Jim McEwen, who had a really long tenure of 38 years at Bowmore Distillery before then bringing up Brooklardic Distillery. This is the first smoky peated whiskey that came out of Cape Byron, so we've all been waiting for it for a really, really long time. Aged in ex-bourbon casks and bottled at 46%. It has wonderful flavors of delicate smoke, charred oak and roasted nuts, balanced with sweeter elements like lemon meringue, stone fruit and shortbread. For the best whiskey I tried last year, you're going to have to follow and catch the next video.